Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraaf.
And I'm Catherine, co-host Bestie.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Tracy.
How are you?
I'm great.
Good. It's good to be back.
Yeah. You mean you're glad to be back from the little trip you were on,
Yes,
right?
I took a trip to Colorado with my husband, Muffin, one of our sponsors, and we went to visit our oldest son, Nate, who lives there.
Your biggest mini muffin.
Yeah, that's right. He is literally the biggest one, too, because he's 6'3".
Right.
So he towers over all the rest of us. But it was great. We had a night. Oh, Denver is beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it's very sunny over there.
Yeah.
And when it's 40 degrees and sunny in Denver, it feels like summertime here in Chicago. You know what I mean? Like 40 degrees here is way different than, I don't know why. The sun, maybe. And something about the moisture in the air.
Right.
Because it's dry out there. So it was beautiful. We had a great time. We ate a lot of great food.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but today we're not going to talk about Denver, except for that little caveat.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, we're talking about fads.
Yeah. Oh.
You excited?
I am excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the topic, or the title of our topic, is how to avoid fads.
Right.
And we're going to get into it. So we've got 3 takeaways. We've got a what, a why, and a how for our listeners today. What is a fad by definition? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to review fads from the past and fads, current. And then why? Why should we avoid them? And how? How can we avoid fads?
It's possible.
It is possible, and it's kind of something that you would say you should do. It's sort of a thing. Stay tuned all the way to the end because, as usual, we're going to have a little bit of inspiration, and particularly with this episode, we really want to give you a boost in the right direction when it comes to fads.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's jump in with our review of fads. First of all, what is it? What is a fad, Catherine?
Well, a fad is kind of like a craze or an obsession and even a behavior that is short-lived. Most of the time, it's put out there by marketing places. And today, it's even put out by people who are not in the corporate world, but like with TikTok. And
they call them influencers.
Yes, exactly.
Those people, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe that's us. Are we influencers?
Well, I hope we're positive influencers.
I hope so, too.
Yeah. So, but that's what a fad is in a nutshell. They're short-lived, and a lot of times too, they are taking our money.
Yes.
A lot of times,
yes.
Or attention. If it's not money, it's attention.
Right. All right. So that's what a fad is. So we were going to review some of the popular fads that some of our listeners might remember.
Yeah. I mean, some of them, you might giggle or chuckle or think, oh, yeah, what were people thinking? There's been all kinds of fads. So one thing I wanted to mention was there's diet fads.
Oh, yeah.
So what comes to mind is I know in the 1920s, I don't know why I know this, but there was a cigarette diet. And so smoking was promoted to
lose weight?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a lot of friends and family who have used it as a tool for that. And then if they stop smoking, they gain weight.
Yeah, right. Because then they just turn to food.
Right. Whoops.
Yeah, but it started in the 20s.
Wow.
Yeah. The 30s had the Grapefruit Diet, which that's resurfaced many times.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. And remember the Atkins diet of the 90s?
Yeah.
That guy actually started it, I think, way back, like in the 70s.
Okay.
But it became popular in the 90s. You know how
Yeah.
some things, people are like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, I think when you talk about fads, fad diets is like it's probably a multi-billion-dollar industry that goes from the ages and will go till the time that we're no more. Fad, because people want,
that reminds me, P.T. Barnum, he said, I got to find this up. He said there's a sucker born every minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was that circus guy.
Well, he capitalized on
He did.
the suckers.
Exactly. Yeah, that made me think of that. Well, throughout the decades, there's been mood rings. Did you have a mood ring?
I remember mood rings. I don't recall having one, but I remember my friends having them. I may have. I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
But
I had one.
I remember them always being black. I'm like, what does that say? Wait, what?
You're dark.
What's happening?
Yeah. I don't recall what all of the different colors were, but I know that there was green, there was like a brown, there was black, and blue. So, like I said, I don't remember all of the colors, but there actually was, I read this, that there actually were crystals in there, and whatever the temperature of your body was or something, these crystals would make the colors change, and supposedly it did reflect the type of mood or emotion that you were experiencing.
Well, that's so fascinating, and I can see why I would fall prey to that, because I would be like, that's neat. Oh, I want to know.
I had one, and I wasn't even into jewelry.
Yeah.
But there was a fad. So somehow I got one. I don't know if it was a Christmas gift. I know I wouldn't have bought it myself, I don't think. Yeah, because I was really young. But, I had these itty bitty fingers and this huge, ring. Looked ridiculous.
That's funny.
Yeah. So a big thing in the 70s was pet rocks.
I remember pet rocks.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Literally rocks, and people bought them.
As a pet.
Hey,
I got to give them credit. Whoever came up with the pet rock was somebody like us. Like, I want a pet with no care involved. I don't want it to eat or poop. I just want it to be there.
Put them on the couch next to each other in the little dollhouse. Things like that.
Crazy.
Yeah. Black lights were also a big thing.
Yeah, now that was I was going to say, when I was in junior high, which was the 70s, we did our little parties at each other's houses and turned all the lights off and took the black light on. And,
I had one.
Yeah.
And I had the posters that lit up.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did they have some kind of fuzz on them? Like they were textured?
They were velvety or velour.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I don't know
the
big difference between velour and velvet, but I had a Led Zeppelin one. It was all colorful. I would just stare at it. Whoa.
But look, our generation, we had nothing. We had rocks. Yeah. We didn't have video games and cell phones.
I think, how did I acquire these things? I didn't have a job, but I think that sometimes they were Christmas gifts or things like that, know.
Yeah,
I was
fun.
lucky enough to,
to get
what I
stuff.
asked for. Yeah.
Right.
And then the 80s was Pac-Man fever, Cabbage Patch dolls.
Yeah.
And the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a Cabbage Patch doll, or I did play Pac-Man and listen to that song, Pac-Man Fever.
I don't recall that song, but I remember playing Pac-Man, but at the local arcade.
Oh.
I didn't have that at home.
Oh, okay.
I would have to go to the local arcade for Pac-Man, and put the money into the big box and sit there and play it. And it go, look at us. It's so weird.
Well, this one year, it was a big splurge. My grandparents bought each one of the grandkids an Atari.
Oh, yeah.
So I was hearing in my sleep.
Well, and then was it Mrs. Pac-Man or Ms. Pac-Man?
Yeah, that came along
something
too.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the song, Pac-Man Fever.
Okay.
Yeah. Waterbeds. Oh, that was,
My sister had a waterbed.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, it was so cool.
Oh, yeah. I never had one, but when I would go to people's homes who had one, I'm like, wow. That was so cool.
It was really neat.
Yeah, I guess. And then the 90s, Tickle Me Elmo, Beanie Babies, Hacky Sacks. I didn't have, I was about to say I didn't have any of those. I did have Beanie Babies.
Well, you were a parent, or you were...
I was a parent in the 90s.
A young parent.
I was.
With young kids.
Yes.
And you got into the Beanie Baby craze.
I did, and I went all over Kingdom Come for the Tickle Me Elmo.
Did you find one?
I did find one. I don't remember how, but I remember I did have to, go through some hoops to get it for our son.
So just in case someone is listening who has no idea what we're talking about, there was a time when the supply chain issues were elevated. Like I don't know how they did it, but they had a hot toy. Mm-hmm. And that tickled me. Okay, Cabbage Patch Kids was the first time I recall there being this shortage of toys.
Care Bears, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But then when Tickle Me Elmo came out, that was like the next big hot thing.
Oh, yeah.
And parents would just go all over
Yeah.
to try to get that for their kid. It was like a quest.
I think I went on Black Friday, actually,
Yeah.
and got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was put out by, Mattel or one of those. Yeah, that made a big deal about it.
Yeah. And, I don't remember about Tickle Me Elmo if we got one. We might have. I can't remember. That's weird.
It's so funny. I did get it for my son. He didn't care about it. He was just a little toddler.
He's like, whatever.
Yeah, if that. We're like, look at we laughed more than he did.
The Beanie Babies, I remember that being more of a lengthy situation in terms of like, it seemed like it went on year after year, and then when it invaded McDonald's and the Happy Meal toy, I mean, that was like the perfect combination. Yes. Of, first of all, who's the genius that came up with it's a Happy Meal? Yeah. It's not just a meal. Ugh. It's not a kid's meal. It's a Happy Meal. Come on, Mom. You're not going to make your kid happy.
Those begging kids in their car seats and their feet are kicking the back of your seat.
Yes, you're banging your head on the steering wheel going, give me 5 Happy Meals.
Why did I even go to McDonald's?
Right. If only I'd remembered that birth control pill.
Right.
Okay, so the Beanie Baby thing, I just remember it being, there were like rare ones. There were rare collectible Beanie Babies, and you were supposed to leave the tags on so the kids couldn't play with them. And the more rare, the more precious, the more valuable they were going to be down the road and all this stuff. Yeah.
Exhausting. I did have some. The actual Beanie Babies, I didn't go all over to get one.
Yeah.
And I did get some that were sent overseas from relatives in England, the Princess Diana one after she passed away.
Yeah, that would be a hot item.
Yeah, I had that one. I had the Britannia one, which you could get that one here too. So that would be the little British one with the Union Jack emblem,
right.
That kind of thing. And I did let the kids play with them, but I did say, don't take the tag off, and I put the little tag protector because you could get the tag protector.
I didn't know they came with the tag protector.
Oh, yeah. I had those too. Jeez. But the one thing I didn't do, and I'm not trying to mock anyone or, who did do this, but I didn't have them like all on my shelves. Like I didn't want to display them. Yeah. Although now that I think about it, I think I had a net that was in Patrick's room, and it was like in a
sling
net in the corner.
Yeah.
And you
toss them in there.
Threw them in there. So they were sort of on display.
Okay. So, I mean, just thinking about that craze back then, and different moms at different levels had whatever involvement in the Beanie Baby syndrome, if you want to call it that. It's like nowadays the Beanie Baby thing, I mean, is it making a comeback? Is it like, what are people doing with their Beanie Baby collections?
Yeah, from what I understand, I don't think you can even give things like that and stuffed animals to thrift stores because they can carry so many germs in them. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure. But I am going to correct myself, too. I didn't run around, like I said, looking for Beanie Babies everywhere, but I did go quite the distance for the McDonald's Happy Meal mini Beanie Babies.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. I'm looking online. I just Googled, are Beanie Babies valuable now? Get this. Okay.
No.
Now, whoever. All right. But I don't know who put this out. But Humphrey the camel, supposedly online, is worth $1,200. Employee the bear, $3,000. Nana the monkey, $4,000. Now, I don't know where this is coming from.
Right. And it's only worth what someone will pay.
That's so true.
So if one is going to pay for Humphrey the camel, then whatever. But
right. Oh, it is hilarious. He's from 1993. He is one of 9 original Beanie Babies.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to tell my sister and see if she's still got her Beanie Babies because she had quite a few.
Yeah, some fads did last a long time, but they were still nonetheless a fad.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's okay.
Wasn't
what
that
else?
fun?
It was fun.
Yeah.
What else you got over there with the
Well,
fads?
I don't have anything else really written down, but there's But so we were discussing whether or not there's still fads now, and of course there are actually charcuterie boards.
Yeah, that is a fad.
That's
right.
a fad. That's probably going to go out. Selfies and belfies.
What's a belfie? I have no idea what a belfie is.
I didn't know either, so I had to look it up. All the young people know what they are. They're selfies of your butt.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm looking it up.
And you're going to like this next one.
Okay.
Because I know that you've mentioned this.
Okay.
The repainted eyebrows.
Oh, I can't stand those. I can't stand those eyebrows that are. It looks like no. It looks like punctuation.
Yes.
It's too harsh.
Well,
it is too harsh.
I'm somewhere in between. I love the defined. It's in style. I do love it. But when they're severe, then yeah, I'm like, whoa, maybe. We can't see the rest of your face because all we see is Groucho marks. I do get that. Yes. Yeah.
I'm actively waiting for the time when the eyebrow fad phase, whatever it is, goes back the other way. Because I remember back in the 80s, maybe it was the 80s, could have been in between there, where it was like teeny tiny skinny. You would pluck every brow you had except for like little pencil brows.
Yeah, I was looking at I was watching a Betty White special the other day.
Yeah.
And it was her from ages ago, and I was looking at her eyebrows. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad those skinny pencil lines are gone because I don't like that either. So
okay, I'm sorry. I just looked up belfie. No, this is a no. This is a no can do. Please do not do this. Do not take a picture of your own bottom and put it anywhere. Please don't.
Yeah. Well, it's a fad.
And it's a selfie belt. It's
called a belfie because it's a selfie of your butt.
Okay.
We forgot to mention, speaking of like a compound word that we make up.
Oh, right.
Our sponsors, Puffin. Oops.
Puffin. Right. Muffin and Pooh. Pooh and Muffin. That's our guys. Anyway, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, about the belfie thing. No, it's a no.
Yeah.
It's a hard no. Please stop. Make it stop. No more. Who thought of that?
Listen to your mother.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, mothers are probably doing it.
Okay, first of all, anything that you put on social media, you can't get it off.
Oh,
it's a permanent marker. It is baked in the cake.
It's out there.
Do not put a photo of your own butt on
Think about that
media.
when you go to get a job. Like if you're a young person, if you got your belfie, whether your pants are on or not, and someone wants to hire you, and then they see your belfie, and they're going to be like, this poor taste. I'm going to not hire this person.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah. Well, some more fads that are still current. The nerd look is very popular right now, and you could see that anywhere.
Yeah.
That nerd look with the bow ties and the button shirt up to here and the big thick glasses.
Yeah.
That's all in. Yeah.
Gosh.
Boy or girl, they look the same.
Oh, wow.
They do.
Just nerdy.
Yeah.
Do they go as far? Because I had no idea of this either. Do they put the little pencil protector, pocket protector?
I have seen that.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. And not on the computer. I mean, I've seen that out in the public.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and there's this thing, the silicone bubble pop, which I would love to get my hands on that. That's a fidgety thing. So it's just like the air bubble packs you get with shipping products. Mm-hmm. But this is you could do it over and over and over. They don't, pop and dissolve or whatever. And that just looks like something I wouldn't mind fidgeting with. I give that to my daughter, Emily. She's always fidgeting, with her hands.
Oh, do you know what I wish that they would invent? Something like that, but with zits in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could just pop zits.
Oh, you would like that.
I would. But then once they're popped, they're popped. Anyway, let's not talk about that.
I was about to mention my little weird obsession, but I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And hot chocolate bombs.
Yeah. Those are cool. See that? Okay, so that's the thing about fads. Mm-hmm. It's different. Yeah. It's unique. It's cool. It's like special.
Right.
But it is going to kind of come and go.
Yeah, I mean, they're not all going to be like Beanie Babies and Cabbage Patch Dolls. There are going to be things that we use, like the charcuterie boards and things like that.
Yeah. And actually, as I'm thinking about fads, I guess not all fads are 100% negative. I mean, it's okay.
Right.
Like if you get into the charcuterie phase and you create it's using your creativity to create something beautiful, go for it, whatever. I think it's probably when you take it to the nth degree, like now you've got 7 rooms in your home that are filled with Beanie Babies and you think that's going to be your retirement plan.
Yeah.
It's that.
Right.
Right.
And I know we just did a podcast on air fryers, but who knows? That might be 20 years from now, we might look back and be like, wow, remember that craze?
Yeah, but with the air fryer, I will say this now that we're empty nesters, because I've said this to you many times, I am loving the fact that you can just do a meal for 2 in your little air fryer, and it's so convenient.
Yeah,
so
I mean, they're great. They're great.
Yeah, and even if fads do kind of come and go, like when you said the nerd fad, the nerd look, I mean, I get it that fashion trends and fashion fads, they do come and go. And so we jump in and jump on board, for many of them. Like the skinny jeans, like I have, the hem of your jeans, it seems to kind of go in and out like you're breathing, just like, wait, are we doing flared now or is it skinny? What is it?
Yeah. You know what I'm waiting for to go out of style the scarecrow pants.
Oh, I've got them on right now.
Oops.
I've got like little.
You do. But they're not so bad.
No, these only have a couple
a little
holes.
bit of phrase. So I call them scarecrow pants because the shredded pants,
right.
and I've wore them. I mean, I've had them. I don't have any anymore because I'm done with them. But they're shredded, and then at the bottom they're frayed. Whoever would have thought?
I know.
20 years ago
that we would do that.
That we would be buying pants that have tons of holes in them.
I gotta tell you. Yesterday when we were coming home from Denver, okay,
I could tell you were bursting to say something.
Oh yeah. So we're at the Denver airport, and there's people everywhere, and you can't help but form opinions, right?
Oh,
so I know, but I didn't say anything out loud.
Right, very good.
I just let it kind of percolate in my head. There was a woman.
Now you are saying it out
but
loud.
I don't know this person. I'm just gonna make a comment.
Yeah.
She was in front of me at the TSA. So, we're all like cattle herded into these little lines, and then we're going through TSA and we have to take off our shoes and we have to, put all our stuff in. And I'm just noticing that she's in front of me with these scarecrow pants on, except they were scary scarecrow pants.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because she had so many holes in them that her holes were about to connect to each other.
Oh, okay.
And look, she
like
had
a chain of lakes.
Yeah. I mean, there was like a very thin margin of thread between 2 of her holes. And if that thread gave way, it was going to be a whole nother search for the TSA.
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, they know she's not hiding anything in those jeans because there's
nowhere
skin.
to hide. Nowhere to hide. Yeah. And, she was blessed in many ways. She had a lot of
things to show.
Yeah. Let's just say, let's get rid of the scarecrow pants. Okay. At least the ones that are scary.
Yeah. That reminds me, talking about the different styles that come and go and these pants. David Henry Thoreau once said, every generation laughs at the old fashions, religiously follows the new.
Yeah.
And that's so true with us.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about classic styles, like, some women that just, and men too, I suppose, but they adopt a more classic.
Like Jackie O.
Yes.
That's classic. That's always been in.
Yeah. And you might deviate a little bit with some accessories and kind of go in the ebb and flow.
Yeah.
But by and large, your staples are classic. And they never go out of style.
Yeah.
I mean, because we got to wear clothes. Let's hope. Let's hope that the Christian nude camp thing doesn't become a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
anything else on popular fads?
No.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right. Now, why should we avoid these fads, Catherine?
Well, they steal our money, our time, our energy. A lot of times, and I know this has been the case with me, that there's been guilt associated with it and even shame and embarrassment.
Why would there be guilt?
Because I know I've wasted money on it.
I see.
I know that I've wasted time, gas money, running around, getting these things, thinking that that's going to please my kids. And so So that's why there's guilt and shame and embarrassment associated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like inherently something that you should feel. You just need to be mindful if you're in that vein. You don't even know you're caught up in it, really.
Yeah.
Because what I mean by that is when something is advertised, whether it's on social media, because let's face it, I don't think many people watch TV commercials anymore, especially those that are geared for our children. We're not watching those kinds of channels, and we fast forward through them.
Right.
But, every single week when I'm doing research for our podcasts, on the side, I'm trying to read an article, and on the side, things are flashing at me that I've looked up. Like I was recently looking for end tables.
Yeah,
well,
scary.
I had selected a few that I kind of liked, and every single time I get on, no matter what website it is, they what they do is they magnify it so that it becomes bigger, smaller. So it's flashing at me like a Las Vegas street sign, So we're constantly getting bombarded with it. So we just have to be mindful.
Yeah, and I think we should use the word sometimes avoid, because I don't think that it is 100% of the time that we need to avoid a fad. I mean, if the kids are all into those little fidget spinners and it's going to help your child to not fidget, get them a fidget spinner. It doesn't mean that, we have to avoid it all the time. But I guess I like the word mindful that you just used, to be present with yourself in terms of why am I really kind of getting into this, and what are we going to get out of it, and how much is it going to cost, and make a decision based on that rather than just pulling the trigger because everybody else is.
Yeah, right.
So, but it's not inherently wrong, but it can lead to definitely some issues.
It can.
Yeah.
And most of all, it takes us away, in some cases, from spending time or money on something that's way more important.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. All right. Anything else about why we should avoid fads?
No, those are the main reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how? How do we do this, Catherine?
Well, you found this website, and it's called Becoming Minimalist. And this particular one that you had pulled up when we first started talking about doing this was 9 ways to avoid spending on fads. And it's by Joshua Becker. And I'm telling you, his story is amazing. This guy, I can't stop following him and watching his videos, reading his posts. He was a pastor for 15 years, and his degree is in accounting or finance. But anyway, now he's full-time doing this, encouraging people, speaking. He's written 5 books on
being a minimalist.
And what's so funny is, like, when you think about that, well, how much can you say about that? But there really is a lot, because it's everything from finances and living more joyfully and all kinds of things. Anyway, that's a side note. Well, one of the ways to avoid spending on fads is to know who starts them. And the reason he says that is because when you know who has started it, you could be more mindful and have more discernment as to whether or not this is a wise decision.
Right. So if it's started by Mattel, maybe.
Yeah, and they rarely have your best interest in mind. So that's it in a nutshell.
Right.
For that
they want to sell more of their widgets.
Right. And this goes with that. Recount where you first heard about the fad. So did you see it on TikTok? Was it on the front shelves of Target? And then he says, if you could trace back to the beginning where you were first introduced to the newest phenomenon that everyone is trying to be a part of, you'll be in a better position to discern if it's a passing fad or something timeless. Or in other words, like a trend could sometimes be something that's an improvement, something positive.
Like an air fryer.
Yeah, right. And he also says, was it a source that is typically swayed by the cultural obsession of the day, or was it a source that provided wise and stable wisdom over the years? Okay, here's one I struggle with. He says, stay out of stores. And basically, because then you're not facing the demon. You're not influenced by what they've got all on display.
Yeah.
And, because they're targeting you.
Well, we have to remember that every decision that we make to buy something has an emotion behind it.
Yeah.
So marketers, they don't market to your sense of sensibility and your wisdom and your spending, and they market to the emotion.
Yeah.
So they're going to make you feel like, I have to get a Happy Meal for my little toddler.
Or a pet rock.
Right. We don't want them to be the only one in first grade that doesn't have a pet rock.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Because if there's money to be made in whatever it is, they're experts. Just like when we talked about how certain foods are made to be addictive.
Right.
These people know what they're doing.
They do. They're very smart.
That's right.
And good on them that they are.
Yeah,
good on them that
right.
they figured out the little formula.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, they're
beware. Buyer beware.
Mm-hmm. Learn from past mistakes.
Okay, wait. Back up one more second.
Yes.
Before you go on to number 4, because number 3, stay out of stores. The hard part about that is that nowadays, we're really not in the stores. But where are we? We're online. So you not only have to watch yourself at the store thing, but you have to watch yourself on social media.
Exactly right. Just like I was just saying, when I'm looking up researching for these podcasts, those things are flashing on the side, grabbing my attention.
Okay, not only the ads either, though.
Right, and social media.
It's the Joneses, keeping up with the neighbors or whatever. Yeah. And if so-and-so just got their thing and they're at the birthday party and they post the picture and now you want your kid to have that. We can all, I fall prey to that. We can all fall prey to it.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, learn from your mistakes.
Yeah. He says here, it's hard to admit mistakes, so it can be easy to make excuses why buying into unnecessary fad products was actually a good idea at the time. We rationalize away our reckless purchase by reminding ourselves that everyone was buying them, that same style of shirt, or how every parent was trying to get their hands on Princess Unicorn for their daughter.
Right.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I have definitely.
Well, I think we all have.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Which is why we're doing this.
Right. Because we have weak moments and then we want to justify whatever it was that we just made the decision on. So we make an emotional decision and we buy something based on that emotion. And then we try to apply practical reasons as to why we made that emotional decision. And it is maddening.
And then what some of us do is we know what we've spent on it, but it's frustrating us. It's in the way or it's whatever, but we know what we spent on it. So then we have a hard time getting rid of it.
Right.
But this guy addresses that too. Not in this article, but in another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what's number 5?
Commit to owning and buying less. The most effective way to overcome the pull of trendy consumerism in every capacity is to own less. And he says when you own fewer possessions, you discover more money, time, and energy for things that matter. And you shift your focus of your life from the pursuit of material possessions toward a more intentional life instead.
Yeah, and I think when you do that, you have more peace and you're happier with the things that you have. So rather than always looking around for what you don't have, you're just content with what you do have.
Exactly. Yeah. I love clothes, and he mentions here in this paragraph this Project 333 experiment. So I clicked on it because it says if you want to stop buying into fashion fads, click on this. So I did. Basically, this gal that has created this idea and put this together, it's for 3 months, wear 33 of the same things the whole time.
Oh, so you can just mix and match?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought, gosh, I don't know if I could do that, but it might be worth a try for some people. Maybe me.
Well, and that's okay. How do I want to say this? Because I know what your closet looks like. I know how many white items you have in your closet. I know how many jean jackets you have.
One.
Oh, did you narrow it?
I only have one.
The one you're wearing?
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, and the reason I wore it is like, I love this. If I don't start wearing it more, I'm getting rid of it.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I only have one now. And one green, army green.
Oh, army green, that's
only
right.
One.
Wow. That's impressive.
And that's before all of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's tough to I don't know if you were planning on talking about this or if this is coming up, but it can be overwhelming to try to think about, like, say, changing out your entire wardrobe, but maybe just start where you can or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope that we do cover more of that in future
Yeah,
podcasts.
I think we should.
I do too, because there's so much. I'm loving it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
All right, number 6.
Embrace a waiting period. Fads come and go pretty quick, sometimes within a matter of weeks. Not all the time, but if you're really on the fence about a purchase and you can't quite decide if it's a useful purchase or simply a passing fad, give yourself 2 weeks. I would say, though, that's this Joshua saying that, I would say give maybe more time than that before buying anything.
Yeah, probably depends on the item.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, that's good advice, though, because when in doubt, do without,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a little catchphrase.
Yeah.
And just wait until you have more clarity and confidence that it is the thing to do.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about number 7?
Be confident with your style. And as we were just saying, that fads and trends, they play on our insecurities, they play on our emotions. And he says they subtly claim that our current lives are not enough to thrive in society and that we need to buy what everyone else is buying in order to keep up with the changing times.
Yeah.
So basically, it's kind of understand and be grateful for what you have. I guess when I said understand, is just understand that it really doesn't matter. You can be confident with what you have.
Yeah. Okay. Number 8.
Rethink the value of money. Your money is only as valuable as what you choose to spend it on. Your dollars, after providing for your needs, can be spent on consumerist and selfish pursuits, or it can be used to help others and solve problems in the world. So he means, donating or contributing, tithing, whatever it might be.
I had someone who was very wise say this to me a long time ago. He was a businessman, and he said that income is limited and spending is unlimited. Regardless of where you are, you could be the most highly paid actress or NFL football player, but your spending is unlimited, but your income is limited. Look at how many, really high paid professional athletes have come to their demise financially because they didn't quite catch that
couldn't
figure.
manage, right?
Yeah. All right. Number 9.
Choose your own life. Nobody gets to decide what life you live and the attitudes you bring into this world. Nobody gets to decide what you spend your money on. Those are your choices.
Yeah. Even Catherine and Tracy can't tell you what to do.
Right. Very true. Oops, I just lost that whole
website.
And
one of the interesting words that just came into my mind was intentional. Be intentional about your own life. We really do. Every day that we live, like time is limited.
Yeah.
And it's once and done. Every day that we are on this planet is a one-time occurrence.
Yeah, right.
We'll never get that time back.
Just like you were saying that that wise businessman that he said your income is limited.
It is.
So is your time. And actually so is your energy.
Your time is even more so limited than your income. Because you will never get the time back. You can't make more of it.
Exactly.
You can't reclaim it.
That's exactly
your
right.
time is a treasure.
Right.
Our days on this earth are limited and numbered.
Exactly right.
But they are. All right. Speaking of treasures, let's transition right into our scripture verse, which is our inspirational close. And it's from Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 through 21. And it says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and vermin destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven where moths and vermin do not destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also."
Amen. If you don't have treasures stored up, nobody can steal them.
That's right. That's right.
That way.
And we want to give you a call to action along this vein, because maybe you're listening and you're like me and Catherine, and you can think of things that you have wasted time and money in the past, or maybe even now, right? You may have kind of chased after something and perhaps it's not all that, you know, and it could be something that's just, you know, not that expensive, or it could be something that's devastatingly expensive. Whatever it is, we want to encourage you to forgive yourself, have a little session with the Lord.
Yes.
And put it before him. You know, maybe go back to this chapter, Matthew chapter 6, and read the whole chapter and just pray it out to the Lord and just, you know, ask him to forgive you and then forgive yourself and move on.
Yeah.
And then don't do that again.
Right. And if you do, that's okay. Pick up again.
Yeah.
And small steps.
Yeah.
Small steps.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
That's what Dave Ramsey says. He calls it baby steps.
Yeah.
Well, I know this to be a fact. I know that the Lord loves all of us. For God so loves the world. You know, from John 3, he loves the world so much that he sent his son to save us. And so he loves that we would seek him on this issue. And so that's what we encourage you to do. Seek the Lord on it, get the forgiveness situation worked out, and then carry on.
Yeah, and have an abundant life.
That's right.
In his abundance.
Wow. That's so good. I'm going to listen to this and then apply it myself. Next time, we had a plan, but we're switching it. You don't know that we had a plan, but we did have a plan, but we're going to switch it because this has inspired us so much. Truth be told, we were supposed to record this last week, but we weren't ready. Like, we just didn't feel like we had enough meat in it. And I think now we do. And now Catherine is like on fire. Like, I see smoke coming off of her head.
There's like
So stay tuned because next week we're going to bring you another episode on minimalism. Minimalism. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But
becoming minimalist.
There we go. Well, you've been listening to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraaf.
I'm still Catherine.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.